Yo, what's up? Dr. Swole here, MD, bodybuilder, here with my next video of the series on my 2020 contest prep. So right now I'm 26 weeks out, and this is just gonna be a quick update. I'll chat a little bit about the changes that I've made this week. So this is the first week where things are starting to feel tough, mainly in terms of my training. So right now I'm using squat as my main heavy squat movement, RDL as my main heavy hip hinge, and bench as my main heavy chest movement. And I've been running into a bit of trouble with all of these main ones. I've been programming using these movements ever since the spring, and they've been progressing well all the way up till now, where everything's ground to a halt in terms of progress. I think this is pretty understandable considering I'm losing weight and I'm under a constricted calorie consumption. And I mean, I'm not a power lifter, so it's understandable and probably acceptable that for my main sort of big three type movements, I'm not going to be progressing a lot during my prep. That being said, I think I'm going to make some changes to make this a little bit more hypertrophy focused rather than strength focused. I think you can get away a lot more with doing strength type training sort of in the 1 to 5 rep range during your off season. Of course, I would keep my training that's outside of the 6 to 12 rep range to a minimum, like 1/4 to about 1/3 of my total training volume, according to the recommendation that we followed from my training intensity video. So for my front squat and my bench press, I've been following this RTS style programming, which is an intermediate style powerlifting type program. I know, I love powerlifting. But for front squat, I would do 6-4-2 in week 1, week 2, and week 3. So I would work up to one heavy set of 6, say, then I would take 10% off the bar and continue doing sets of 6 until I can't anymore. For bench press, same sort of paradigm, except the setup was more like 10-6-4. What I'm thinking of doing is taking out that heavy top set because it's very fatiguing for me, and just doing straight sets across. For a front squat, I'm thinking of just doing sets of 5 across and try and progress linearly or at least hold stable. And for bench press, I haven't decided yet, but I'm probably still going to stick to the 10-6-4, but maybe just take away that heavy top set and just do straight sets across. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of my training. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. I know that I can't expect to be progressing on powerlifting type movements throughout a competition prep, but I'd be curious to hear what your experiences have been and what you think. On the other hand, all of my other muscle groups are progressing really well still. So back, delts, triceps, biceps, calves, all of those are doing great. My less neurally taxing leg training is also still going well. My leg press, leg extension, and leg curls are still progressing nicely. So that's very reassuring. So in terms of my macros, those are still the same as since I started out at 29 weeks out. So 180 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, and 35 grams of fat per day. If you want to look at my detailed diet plan, you can check out my video from 27 weeks out. I still have scheduled refeeds on Friday and Saturday. Now, one more thing that I figured out last week is that I'll be formally implementing autoregulated refeeds. So earlier in the week, I actually had a crash in weight around Wednesday, as you can see here, where my weight was dropping really fast. And as we've mentioned before, you don't really want to lose more than 2 pounds per week in any circumstance. And in terms of prep, I'm shooting more for a 0.5-1 pound a week weight loss. Now, if I was progressing really well on all my lifts and looking really full, I wouldn't have worried about the weight loss. But considering that I was starting to have some difficulty with my main compounds and I was looking really flat on some days, I decided to take an unplanned refeed on Wednesday. I call this an auto-regulated refeed since it's a refeed that is triggered when a certain set of criteria are met. In this case, if it looks like I'm going to exceed 2 pounds per week weight loss, and I'm looking flat, and training is not perfect. Alright, here's my physique update. There aren't too many changes from last week. To amend what I said last time, I think I'm more around 10 to 12% body fat, rather than 10. When you look at things objectively under harsh lighting like this, I think that would be a bit more of an accurate assessment. I'll say now that my posing isn't that great. It's definitely something that we'll be working on and talking about for sure. as prep continues. That's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment, and let me know what you want to know about my contest prep. See you next time.